Hey guys, it's Ben the Coin Geek at Old Pueblo Coin. Thanks so much for joining me today. Please remember to like, share, and comment on videos as it helps out the algorithm so that we can go ahead and have more people find this party bus. All right, well, I sent some foreign coins, world coins as it were, off to the old PCGS to get graded, and a couple modern pieces to start us off here before we move into some really interesting Thalers and things of that nature. I'm always excited to get back world and international coins. This 1982 Libertad is MS67. Really a lovely piece. Some of the things that became very popular out of the pandemic, Mexican coins, especially Libertads. And they're still holding their own. I mean, they've come down, of course, from the height of the market when everything was going really crazy. But I will say that all in all, they're still a popular issue. And this one here pulled from a old tube of them, and I thought it was really compelling as far as the overall eye appeal goes, and that there was not much in the way of contacts at all on this guy. A couple little marks there, but you see just very, very wide open fields. But not only that, but the design areas also are very, very clean. There's not a lot going on there. And so the Libertad collectors out there can go goo goo gaga for stuff like this, especially when it comes back in an MS68 holder. Pretty good. So of course, I am doing an open box video here where I have not done research. I just got this back. I just opened it up, and we're having fun with it. In fact, this is a type on it which I have not looked up, although we listed it as the Type 1, and my mind is scrambling now to remember what the Type 1 is. I am trying to remember if it had to do with the different type of lettering on this. I'm not a Libertad type specialist. You know, usually I can read notes when I put them in the notes, but like I said, I did not make notes on these. It's a true open box, so this 1991. The Type 1, also MS68, but all my Libertad specialists will undoubtedly tell me right away the difference in types on those guys. So this piece is something that I'm going to probably send to auction, but maybe I'll list it on the website. If you're wondering what you're seeing here, we've got Victoria facing to the left, Victoria facing to the right. So, you know, swing your partner do-si-do. Why is the lettering backwards on this piece? Well, this is an error that is known as a brockage, and really, really a neat piece. This is British India rupee, and it has been cleaned. I'm not too upset about the fact that they actually call it cleaned here. Full brockaged reverse, mint error. This type from 1877 to 1901. We'll see, they actually sell for a couple grand-ish, it looks like, on these guys at auction. So we may just price it for now and send it to auction later if no one bites on it. But a truly rare error for almost any type of coin. And actually, you know, when people ask me about coins to purchase, and I'm not going to tell you that this is the one here, but people talk about coins to purchase for investment. And, you know, I'm like, okay, well, what has upside? There are a lot of mint errors on international coins that I think are super dramatic, like you'd see on a US coin, and for whatever reason that marketplace is just not as strong for those. Now these happen to have a pretty good following on them. There's a lot of people that collect British and British India, so this is the type of thing that's pretty scarce and valuable. But when it comes to lots of different types of international coins, we see them out there, and they are not as expensive as a U.S. error would be. All right, some of my favorite time period coins are going to be the coins of Mexico from the early 1800s. There's a lot of different varieties on these. This is Ferdinand VII here. And they come with all kinds of different strike qualities and lettering. and so sometimes you got to learn a little bit about the different types of strike qualities on the coins. But in general, you run into this a lot with even with U.S. coins, where the strikes are unequal on things, especially in the early 19th century, late 18th century type items. So this is the Zacatecas mint. That's that ZS right there, 8 real. Really nice piece, lots of detail. XF45. I think that's in the $500 ballpark. Once again, the numbers on here are stuff that I am just throwing out there. This one's kind of fun. This is 1809, and I actually have another coin that is not too dissimilar to this that I picked up in the US Mech show in Scottsdale. And this one is from the Mexico City Mint. I really liked the reverse on it. Really, really nice. You have pretty much just full complete luster on this guy here. Once again, just talking about the different strike qualities, the way the planchet's made. This one looks like it could have been struck over another coin. See the distressed look on the planchet right there? So sometimes that's just because the planchet itself was somewhat distressed when it was made. But sometimes that's an indication that a coin's been struck over another coin. Of course, usually when a coin's struck over another coin, if it's struck very strong, you don't see much of any lettering and stuff in the fields, although it looks to me, if I'm looking at in between the IND here and the shield, I'm just trying to get a glimpse of if there's any remaining pattern. So usually you'll see like little patterns pop up in the open spaces, but also you'll see pieces of metal flow up into the lettering and whatnot. And so I'm not seeing that currently, but here I'll take a closer look later. We'll inspect it again and see if we can see actual lettering or anything else pop up, actual design. And really cool coin. You know, it has a little scuffiness here in the open field, you know, right up in that area, but also really nice luster. MS61 on this guy. I would guess that's probably about a $800 to $1,000 coin, just offhand, something like that. All right. All right, so these are some of my favorite coins ever produced in Mexico. So these 8 reals from the 1820s, 1824, and they have a type of design that has a nickname of a hook neck on the eagle. It just reminds me so much of, I've had, you know, like Mexican documents, and, you know, this eagle snake representation on this coin looks like it was almost like they took the wood carvings that they use for the paper when they're making presses for documents, and they transposed it onto a coin. You know, the coins have their own look, but some of the earlier documents that you'll see on Mexican, if you get Mexican documents, will have coins, will have the eagle and snake look like that. This 1824 piece, lots of luster. Once again, learning how these things are produced. You have really flat strike over the center of the Liberty cap there, but you actually have some luster in the periphery on this coin. XF40, not a bad grade. Not a bad grade. I'll have to double check on that and see. In my mind, when I sent that in, I thought that coin was worth a couple grand, but we'll see kind of how the market views it. This coin, similar, here's an 1824 again, with a lot more luster to it. And you can just see, even though these are both 1824 Mexico City Mint coins, let's put it this way. You can see just how different the design is on the two coins. I mean, So when they were engraved, they look very different here, one from another. And just kind of a neat piece of numismatic history to me. AU50. All right, pretty cool piece. Really nice strike compared to that other piece there, especially. Okay, so 1694 Thaler, and this guy here. Little bit disappointed on the grade in this guy. We'll get a closer look here in just a second. I'm just so to me, this coin is kind of like a straight graded AU. I mean, this is how I'd view this coin, like a nice AU55 type coin. So really an interesting overall coin. It has nice luster in the edges of the field still. Nice bold date. All the design elements are really cool on this piece. So Unk details cleaned. That one was a little bit of a head scratcher for me. I just would have called it like an AU55 and moved on. To me, that's really pretty nice for a Thaler. These guys, Thaler is a generic term. Maybe sometimes people call them a crown-sized coin. Obviously, the larger coins have those nicknames. Some of them are more appropriate than others, but sometimes we can be a little fast and loose with our lingo, and by we I mean myself, but also generally speaking, you'll hear it from other folks too, where they'll just use those terms interchangeably sometimes. 1611, and once again talking about earlier coins and just how they're struck up or not struck up. You've got really strong edge lettering here, and then all these parts of the design that just have kind of this flat appearance through all the fleurs, the griffin. XF detail cleaned, genuine. And we've got Germany Mansfeld, so we've got the knight here slaying some dragon action. That's always fun. Or the oversized turtle, depending on the depiction of the artist. Is that a giant rat? Okay, so didn't do too good on the Thalers as far as what they're going to call cleaned and not cleaned. Once again, calling this one cleaned. This is a Teutonic order. That's D is the Davenport number, 1603 Thaler. I like, there's a kind of fun design element sometimes you'll see where they're on a floor, and the floor will be tiled, and the tile will have some depth to it, so you'll start to see perspective where the tile looks like it's moving at angles. And actually the design on here is really cool, where the edge of the rope, his cape has some, not lettering to it, but just some design elements to it. Strong looking king there, actually. And then here you go with the 1603 element, and then you have all these different shields to them. Very cool, very cool on these guys. A lot of these Thalers that I'm showing you, I didn't mention any price points on these guys, are probably in the $300, $400, $500 range. So like this coin here, I don't mind it, I should say I like it being called cleaned. So you start to see like this type of very much so polished look here in the open field, and I find that to be very different from this coin, where the open field has a little bit of brightness to it but doesn't necessarily have polish to it. See, to me there's not really that same kind of aggressive, and in fact the originality of this coin is striking. I mean, this whole area in here is just very original. So if we're doing, let's play the cleaning game, because I talk about this a little bit here. I would put these coins in this order from left to right, where this coin I'd call cleaned. This is to me borderline for the issue, and this I would not have called cleaned. You know, because this coin looks to me a lot more like this coin, which is to say you've got these wide open fields. This is a Wild Man, super fun, very popular series. There's all kinds of different sizes and denominations. This is welcome to the 2-4 on this guy here. And so this is about this is a, what does that make this, a half a Thaler size wise? Marion Grosh, 24 Marion Grosh, XXIII Marion Grosh, so that is the fine silver, that's fun. And once again, you have that similar look here where you've got a very nice original patina going around the edges of the coin on this guy. So once again, very similar in my mind to this Austrian piece. And here we go with a 1624. These guys were ahead of their time. It almost looks like a car number, right? The 16Z4. And not as scarce of an issue as some of the other issues you see. This is something that pops up. They must have made a lot of these guys because this is a style and type that I see pretty frequently compared to some other types of Thalers. And once again, all the lettering and symbolism there. XF45 on that 1624. You know, nice straight grade. And once again, talking about originality versus not. I mean, that has a super original look to it compared to the other coins. Lastly, I got a coin inside here. That's good to know. This guy went into a slightly oversized holder, so they had to put it in that. They put it in sideways. You can see it's just a little bit bigger, which is kind of a fun thing that that they finally, I shouldn't say finally started doing. I think they've been doing it probably for a while now. Oh, this one's cool. Okay, this Augsburg piece. First of all, you got a city view. For those of you who don't know, Augsburg is a pretty famous city, but also anytime you see, that's hard to tell, but that's an acorn. But the acorn is Augsburg's symbol. And you've got the cherubs. You've got one with the sword, one with the wreath, symbolizing usually power and peace at the same time, or power and victory. So, you know, olive branches are usually peace. The crowned wreath can be peacefulness, but it can just mean victory. And then, of course, we've got to figure out Roman numerals here, the MDCXXVI. So that is, you know, you've got the 1000 is the M, 500 is the D, plus 100, so 600, so we're at 16. XX is 1010, so that's 20, so 1620. VI is 6, so 1626 on that. City View coins, really, really cool. Nice original piece. And then, all right, eagle with scepter and sword and crown. Very nicely done. Really cool looking piece. You know, they went with a thicker size, which is interesting because it's not really a thicker coin, but it is a larger like diameter. So it's interesting to me. I guess, you know, they're the ones putting them in here, so maybe it just is a little just thicker enough to kind of throw it off. But a very cool piece on that. So anyways, guys, as always, maybe I should mention this at the beginning of a video instead of at the end of a video. If any of these are for sale by the time the video hits, if you click on the show description, the video description, it should pop up a menu and show you whether these are available on our website or they are available on eBay. Also, final note, if you just kind of check the website daily, new stuff pops up there. So these are often up on the website before the video is. So, you know, just check back frequently and have some fun. All right, guys, thanks so much for watching. I'm Ben the Coin Geek. You can subscribe by clicking on the owl button in the corner and watch more videos on the right side of the screen. Thanks.